Hey guys, what's going on? Geekin and Drinking is back. Episode 47. Let's get it cracking. Let's go. And welcome. Guys, it's been a little while here, but we are back. Geekin and Drinking. I'm Eddie.
We are back. I'm Steven.
I'm Matt.
And like I said, we're it's been a little while since we released an episode. It's been a long month. It's been it's 2020, so you know how that's been going. It's whatever. It is what it is. We are here. We have some great beer to share with you guys. We're gonna start cracking them open right now. This is episode 47, right?
Yes.
Okay.
47.
Yeah. Almost at 50. Almost there. Almost at 50, but. We have a pretty stacked episode for you guys today. We're gonna be, doing what we do as far as talking about a movie that we all recently watched. Just kind of digging into the old library of movies that we've seen. So we're gonna tap into. That's fine. We're gonna tap into a movie from the early 2000s, and we have some music, a lot of music to talk about this episode. We a couple of artists that that we like have released a new album, so we'll get into that later. Or
so if you follow us on our Instagrams, you would have seen that I put some of those albums and songs on our stories. So
so if you're not following us, go follow us because that's where it's happening. But to get to the beer, we can't forget about the beer. It's always an important part of the show. Like I said, we have as of late in most episodes we've been featuring a lot of obviously local beer from San Antonio, buying beer to go, but we thought we not take a break from that, but always support your local breweries, but we just want to show our support for some other breweries here in the state of Texas. Our first one is a hidden gem, I would say, a hidden gem. It is from Altstadt Brewery, which is located in Fredericksburg, Texas, and they are a pretty like German, like they're immense in German history. Like they're real. I'm trying what I'm looking for. Like they're real.
Inspired.
Inspired, or with the German culture, this and that. So the beer we're drinking today, like I said, this is a hidden gem. If you've seen it in stores, I highly suggest picking it up. It is a lager. It is Altstadt's lager, which is a premium German style beer, rich roasted malts, fine smooth finish, coming in at 4.8%. Not too strong in alcohol, which is not a problem. It is a delicious beer. It's super refreshing, super easy to drink. And like I said, if you just want to buy yourself a six-pack and just, watch some movies or just hang out with some friends and, not get too crazy, perfect recommendation right here.
This is definitely a good recommendation for those who like to drink like those other type of big name beers, that they're real popular with, your
Buds and your
Millers. This is definitely one that I would recommend for someone who's getting into craft beer. Mainly, not that it tastes like it, but
mainly because it's light.
It's light and it's not doesn't hit you.
Yeah, like I said, it's light, it's refreshing, and it's flavorful. I think it's flavorful for a lager. Like I said, for a lager, it's like I said, a Munich style lager. So you can taste all that, and they're real. Inspired by obviously German brewing, so they really incorporate that into their brewing. I've tried their Kolsch, I've tried their Hefeweizen, and their Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is legit.
I've tried their Oktoberfest and their Amber.
I have yet to visit the brewery. I know Eloy. I think he's gone to the brewery. He's always really talked up Altstadt. He's always been a real. A real big advocate for them, and like I said, when I first tried the lager, I'm like, wow, this is really fucking good. Like this is flavorful beer. So like Steven said, if you're new to the craft game, or you're tired of drinking the same old boring stuff, and you want to try some interesting beer, Altstadt Lager is a perfect starter beer for you to to tap into that. So check it out. What do you think of the beer?
I like I tried their Oktoberfest, and this is the only other one I tried other than the Oktoberfest, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, they're hard. The beers are not hard. Like this one, you could find it, here and there. I have never seen their Hefeweizen until I went to a random Walmart one day, and Walmart doesn't really have much craft beer, so I was surprised to see a Hefeweizen. It comes in, and each can and case is a different color. So the lager's blue, their Hefeweizen's a purple, their Kolsch's are red.
Their amber's the amber's a green.
Oh yeah, the amber, yeah, amber, yeah. Shout out to Texas Beer Dude JD. I think last Friday he did.
He attempted to
do chugging two of them, and he was like, "Nope."
No.
But that was a pretty cool video. If you're not following him, go follow Texas Beer Dude because he does Friday chugs, and that dude's a legend.
I think we're gonna have to take a page out of his book and maybe try do something like that too.
Shotguns.
Hey. I've never done I've never done a shotgun. I've done a beer bong.
Done the beer bong.
I've never done. I remember the first time I did a beer bong, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Nope.
Imagine trying to do a beer bong with some of the beers that we've drank.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. With a nice IPA. Ooh.
Or like a sour.
I shotgun an IPA once. That's cool.
I could see a sour. Like
a stash IPA.
Stash? Ooh, that's a bitter one. That's a bitter boy. It's a bitter boy right there.
Or a Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen, yeah. What about a stout? The darkness. But yeah, like I say,
For the darkness.
They'll be like, fuck your couch.
I really want to visit their brewery though in Fredericksburg. I heard that they have rooms you could rent on top of the brewery or below the brewery, somewhere around that you could I think it's that brewery. It might be a different brewery. I might be mistaken, but I think I heard someone say that one time. But
I think it's a different brewery. I thought it was this brewery, but I think it's a different one.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, someone had mentioned. I think it's Altstadt, but no, it's another one. But still, regardless, I still want to visit their brewery and see. I
think unfortunately right now the
tap room.
The tap room, I think, is open, but they're not doing any brewery tours, which, we would love to do one.
Maybe we get that special win back one day.
Thank you, 2020.
Yeah.
Jerk.
So, pressing on, like I said, we have a lot of stuff we want to get into, so... I don't know. What should we start? You want to start with some news? You want to start with some music? You want to go in?
What's been going on? What's the
word?
I know a lot of stuff has been happening, but I can't even remember.
Well, okay, one thing that comes to mind, and it's recently...
I know a couple of things, which you don't want to hear right now, but I know the PS5 just came out, so...
I'm so sick of hearing about the PS5. I mean, good if you got it, good for you. But anyway...
Just throw it out there, because he's tired of hearing it, and he couldn't get his hands on one, so...
At the time of this recording, some news has come out in the magical world of Harry Potter. As you know, they did the spin-off series Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which wasn't a book. It was based off a textbook in Harry Potter, and J.K. Rowling took it upon herself to write the screenplay, which she's never done. She's written books, she's never written a screenplay. First movie was okay. It was fine. Colin Farrell was badass, and I hated the fact that they replaced him, but they revealed him to be the ultimate bad in at least this timeline of the story, which is Grindelwald, and at the end they revealed that, he was secretly Grindelwald, and it was played by Johnny Depp, which I hated. I hate it. And that's because I don't like Johnny Depp, but I like Johnny Depp, but old Johnny Depp. I don't really care for him now. And,
pre or post Pirates of the Caribbean Johnny Depp?
I mean, he kind of loses me. And the first one was good. I love the first one, but it's just I don't know.
Or post Disney?
Disney.
He did when he started doing Disney movies.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So and then we get the second movie, which is Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which introduces Jude Law playing Dumbledore, young Dumbledore, and of course Johnny Depp reprising his role as Grindelwald. And that movie was so...
Still haven't seen it.
That movie was so lukewarm. I mean, the first movie was, bleh. It was there. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I liked it. I actually enjoyed the first one.
The second movie...
I fell asleep.
The second movie was just... They took everything they kind of introduced in the first movie and just kind of,
Although I did feel there was some lazy writing in it. The one thing I just don't like is because obviously... obviously we know the world of Harry Potter takes place in London.
Yeah, and then
in Fantastic Beasts, they bring it to the States.
Which they have different terms.
In like the 30s, right? 20s or 30s, I believe it is. I want to say it was the 30s.
Maybe 40s.
But around those, between one of those
later than 40s.
Those timelines. But anyways, yeah, like we all know that non-wizardry or witches are known as muggles. To the wizards and witches, but in the States they're known as nomads.
Muggle sounds so dirty. Like like you can call it a muggle. I mean, I don't know. it's terrible. But nomad, yeah, I did that. That was kind of bleh. So yeah, like the second movie came out, it was a decrease from the first movie. Of course, Johnny Depp. I just couldn't stand him in that role. Like he was just.
Because I was gonna say, funny thing is I've never seen the movie, but I have the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I have both of them.
I mean, I wouldn't mind watching it again, but because I like the universe they've set up as far as Harry Potter.
I have like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't watched it yet.
What? Oh,
hasn't played open.
Oh, that's such a good movie, but so if you hear some growling, some puppies.
It ain't my stomach.
I don't think they're fighting though.
So yeah, back to the recent news.
Today, Junior.
I had to burp. Just ate some burgers, man. Let's call it. Recent news came out that Johnny Depp was asked by Warner Brothers to step down from the role of Grindelwald. He had some legal troubles. Him and his ex-wife Amber Heard. We won't get into it, but if you want to look it up on your own. But he ended up losing losing a case, in London or something, and puppies. And so Warner Brothers asked him to step down. So it's like, okay, like I'm glad they did. But one thing I found out that I don't completely agree with is that he filmed the one scene for the new movie for Fantastic Beasts.
And he's still getting.
And he's still getting a big paycheck. He's still getting paid.
He's still getting his 8-figure paycheck.
Yes, and because there was a clause in his contract when he first signed that he gets paid, for whatever he, not for whatever he films, but as long as he films, he gets paid. So he's still getting paid his money, even though he only filmed one scene and probably won't even be in the third movie. So, news spread that he has to step down. Everybody's all right, cool, fine, but what are you gonna do going forward? A lot of questions up in the air. Well, it came out that, and I'm super excited about this. Mads Mikkelsen from, you may know him from the TV series Hannibal. He also came out in Doctor Strange.
He played
what's his name? I forgot his name.
In Rogue One.
He played Rogue One. He played Galen Erso.
Yeah.
Jen Erso's father. He's a fantastic.
He was also in Polar on Netflix. If you've never seen that movie. But I'm just saying he's in that movie.
He's in that movie
but
too,
him as an actor, like, I really like him, especially if you have ever seen Hannibal. Like, he just takes that role into like a completely awesome direction, and he's so creepy. But for him to, I'm not sure if it's actually been confirmed, but there's been talks that he's in talks to take over the role as Grindelwald, which I'm pretty stoked about. I don't know if you guys
it's a good fit. I see it. I can see it. That it's a good fit for me. I agree with it. I am not 100% in disagreement with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good fit. It's a good replacement. I'm a fan of Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp. Unfortunately, just with his personal life and situations at the moment is stopping him from working and take on roles, and to actually have to drop roles. I know you said you weren't a fan of him in the movies, but I think it would have been awesome to continue playing the character, keep on going. I myself need to go watch the second one.
Yeah,
I just need to just do it. I don't know why I just never did.
I'll sit down with you and watch it. We get some loggers, some Altstadt loggers, and we'll sit down and watch some Crimes of Grindelwald. I'm down.
But yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. I think that's a good replacement. That's all I gotta say. I agree with it. I don't care what anyone else says. Doggies, shut up.
Hey.
And it is interesting now that we're gonna have 3 different actors playing the same character in 3 different movies. We have Colin Farrell, Johnny Depp, and then now hopefully Mads Mikkelsen. And another thing to point out too was that one of Heath Ledger's final movies that he filmed was the Imaginarium and Dr. Parnassus. And while he was filming that movie, that's when he unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
And some of the movie
Heath
had yet to be filmed. So they had 3 actors come in to fill in his role because the way the movie is,
3 really good actors all come out in this movie.
And exactly. So they had Johnny Depp, play the same character that Heath Ledger, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law. And you already have Colin Farrell, who was in the first one. You had Johnny Depp at the end of the first one and in the second one, and then you had Jude Law playing Dumbledore. Like it was just like really like that's I don't know. Like someone pointed out that like what if they got Jude Law just to play Grindelwald, and it's just Jude Law versus Jude Law. Like,
and this wouldn't be the first time that this has happened in the Wizarding world. I mean, obviously in the original Harry Potter movies, the original actor that played Dumbledore passed away, and obviously they had to get a replacement for him in the third one, which was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Which I like the newer one. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I
think it fit better because now knowing and seeing what he had to do.
Yeah, I couldn't have seen the other guy do it.
Yeah, I think there might have been a lot of CGI going on there just for him to do a lot of the things that they were having the character do.
I always get I forgot the guy who was that replaced him, but I always get him and Ian McKellen mixed up. Ian McKellen from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I always think they're the same person, but like they're not. Like they're totally different. But that's just some recent news that came out about that. Can't really. I'm trying to think of Well, okay. How about this? Don't look at no news, but we did get some new content. Mandalorian season 2 drop. On October 30th on a Friday. And we're all caught up. 2 episodes in right now. And so, what are you guys thinking so far of season 2 of the Mandalorian? I know we're only 2 episodes in, and we get the third one tomorrow. So, what y'all guys think of the first episodes? I mean, if you guys are watching, y'all know that there's a big review in the first one, and the second one, in my opinion, was just it was there. It was fine. It was fine for what it was, but I was kind of bored watching it. Like, you could call it a filler episode, or you cannot. I was just didn't really care for it. I do like the frog lady though. I do like the frog lady.
It's like when you're watching Clone Wars and you just get that one weird episode where they just do something random, and it's like, okay, filler.
But the one thing that people are bringing up about this episode, and it kind of annoys me that people are saying this, like they're like, so is Baby Yoda? I mean, no, it's not his name, but is Baby Yoda is he evil now because he's not
evil. He's just a bad boy. He's a bad boy.
Yeah, he is. Because people are like, because he's eating like an endangered species. I'm like, he doesn't know that. He's a child.
He's just hungry.
Just because he's 50, people. I mean, 50 to us is old, but he's a 50-year-old baby. Yoda.
And another thing that kind of bothered me too is like, how did the frog lady not know that some of her eggs were missing? Do you not count them? Like,
I think she kind of did.
Because at the end, right, she was like, and he just takes one off. It's just like, that was pretty funny, but
he's such a bad boy, but at the same time he's a growing boy. He needs to eat because once he couldn't eat when she was in the little hot spring thing over there, I was like, oh, okay.
I know her.
And Mando was helping her gather the eggs, and he says, no, don't touch that. He walks away and causes more ruckus. It's like,
yeah.
I think that should have been the name of this episode. Was Bad Boy.
But so the second one was really kind of, like Matthew said, it was one of those episodes where it's like, it reminded you a lot of like Rebels or Clone Wars. We get those.
At first, when I first saw it, I was just like, but then like after talking to it with some of my other friends and everything from work and stuff, I'm really enjoying it a lot more. Especially with the antics that Baby Yoda was doing. It's just like it was just freaking hilarious.
I did like. I'm trying to think of like what I did like.
I mean, obviously the first episode was freaking amazing. The the cameo and the what do you call it when they kind of like show something.
Oh, the reveal, yeah.
Not reveal, but like the tease we got, with the armor. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But it's pretty much there. The Boba Fett armor.
Yeah.
I thought it was freaking amazing. It was awesome. I did not know that I was John Leguizamo until you mentioned me at the beginning of the episode.
He still doesn't sound. I watched it again. Like he does not sound like him, but he's in the credits. I think I love that's cool. I love when they hide a actor in the prosthetics and they like tell you later, like, oh yeah, no, like in what's it called the Last Jedi. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays one of the monsters in the casino. Like he plays one of the monsters. Okay. Yeah, but it's just like a small thing, but it's just like he's in
kind of like what's his name, Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
That was one of the stormtroopers in The Force Awakens.
It's just like little things like that. Like that's fucking cool. Like I love it. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, we're 2 episodes in. I'm liking it so far. I know there's a lot of like speculation of like characters showing up, this and that. And like I said, there's speculation of Boba Fett showing up, and we may or may not have gotten that. Fuck it, yeah, we did. if you're watching this and you haven't watched Mandalorian, what are you doing? But yeah, we got a tease, and at the end of the first episode, and it seems all signs point that it's him. So that's one confirmation. Another one is Ahsoka Tano, which has still not yet been confirmed, but it's been wildly speculated and played by Rosario Dawson. Which is cool. I'm glad that she might come in that role.
And we're still waiting to see what Sasha Banks' character.
I was gonna say that because there's also speculation that Bo-Katan, played by Katie Sackhoff, is gonna show up because Katie Sackhoff voiced her in Clone Wars. But yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm super excited to see what Sasha Banks is gonna play in this.
I think people thought she was gonna play Sabine from Rebels.
Yeah, but given the trailer,
I think that's kind of not going to be the case.
So I'm just like, I don't know, because I have a huge crush on Sasha Banks, and I love her as a wrestler. I think she's an amazing wrestler.
I would really love to see the actual actor that voiced Sabine do the live action of Sabine. I forget her name. I mean, it's Tia something, but I know she's also come out in The Good Place. Mm-hmm. So if you're familiar with The Good Place, she's on that show. And she voiced Sabine in Star Wars Rebels, which she does a lot of voice acting, not just for Star Wars but for a lot of other stuff too. And I would love to see her bring to life this character that I really started liking from from Rebels. So.
I know we have a little bit of time, but I just want to bring up something that I want to rant about, and it's also some other news. We got news a couple weeks ago that Oscar Isaac is in talks to take on the role as Moon Knight in a Marvel series or in a Marvel show. And if you don't know who Moon Knight is, I don't know much about him, but I know he's of Egyptian descent. He's apparently Jewish and this like that. There was so much backlash that people were like, "Why don't I get an Egyptian actor to play Moon Knight, or why not get someone Jewish in descent?" And people are like, "Oh, Oscar Isaac's dad's Jewish." I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, Jesus, he's an actor. He's a great actor, and at that, he's an actor of color. He's he's Mexican, So I think that's at least good. I'd rather have Oscar Isaac play Moonlight, and play a version of Moonlight, whether it be the Egyptian descent or whatever, than have another white guy,
another super tan white
guy.
Yeah.
So like I started hearing people like, well, like I was listening to a podcast and like one of the guys was ranting like, oh, they should, have more representation of Egyptian actors, and like someone called him out. They're like, well, can you name a good Egyptian actor? He goes, well, no, I can come back. Like exactly. Like don't like you're acting. You're talking about representation. At least we're getting someone of color playing a role rather than just another white person who doing that. So I don't know. I was just like, that was like bugging me so much, and I wanted to like talk about it.
I got some opinions on it, but I think I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
I said I don't know much about Moon Knight.
This kind of subject does really get really touchy and real sensitive.
Yeah.
So,
but I was just like, I'm glad Oscar Isaac's gonna possibly take on the role, and I don't know much about Moon Knight. I hate when people say like, "Oh, he's just like Marvel's Batman." No, he's not. No, he's not.
Everyone says that Iron Man is like Marvel's Batman too because he's rich and I don't know, whatever.
But they say that because Moon Knight, because he's like a dark figure. I'm like, he's not Marvel's Batman. Like, just don't.
No,
Stop.
He's Moon Knight.
Yeah, he's Moon Knight. Like, he's totally different. Like his powers are something that's different. Like, it's.
He actually has powers.
Yeah. So
Deadpool is Marvel's Deathstroke. So
I mean, well.
There's a whole issue.
Yeah, but okay, so
we need some refills. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
what's going on, guys? And Geekin Drinkin is back, episode 47. And let me just apologize ahead of time. We have a lot of dogs in or around this house, and they maybe or maybe not be barking. But either way, as long as you can hear us, it's all okay and it's all good.
It's all good, bro. We're right here, bro.
But yeah, so obviously we start off the show drinking some delicious lagers from Altstadt Brewery in Fredericksburg. So like I said, super. Sorry, my mic's being weird. Super, refreshing lager, easy to drink, and delicious. And now we're coming at you with another beer from another brewery. Coming at you from 903 Brewers, which they are located in, I just had it right now. Where is
Sherman, Texas.
Sherman, Texas. There you go. Yeah, Sherman, Texas. And we are drinking a German Bock, which is, the name of it is Sherman Bock, but yeah, so it's a German Bock.
Sherman Bock, German Bock. Sherman Bock, German Bock. Sherman Bock, German Bock.
Coming in at a nice 7.1.
Dang,
Wait,
for a Bock?
Yes, I'm saying like
wow.
That's how much the Bock is, that backhand turn.
Really?
7%.
It's a 7.1.
Well, it looks way more darker than this.
And I know Steven's a fan of Box, so this is why I picked this one out. So I'm pretty excited to see.
Like that one Texas Leaguer from Texas Leaguer Brewing. That one Bock I got. Oh, dude, that was the bomb.
So cheers, girls, salute, whatever is your taste.
Caramel.
Flavorful, super out of flavor. What do you think?
It's good. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's good.
It is. It's real
Tasty.
real flavorful.
Tastes like caramel.
I've gotten real used to the Davy Bucket, which is a Bock, but it does not taste like a Bock at all, and even doesn't look like a Bock.
Yeah.
It's super. It looks like the lager, super light. So, drinking this, it's a Bock,
and it's got a pretty low alcohol percentage. I think it's saying like at a 4 or 5%.
Yeah. So drinking this, a full-bodied German Bock. It's what a Bock is supposed to be like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the Davy Bucket, but this is what a Bock is supposed to taste like, in my opinion.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Davy Bucket, we did feature it on the show a couple episodes back, and it's from Alamo Brewing here in San Antonio, Texas. If you guys haven't tried it, I suggest you guys go over there and try it. I think they have a few new brews on tap or in cans. I'm not too sure exactly what they are, but go visit our friends over at Alamo Brewery.
Yeah.
They're always cool and legit. And Matthew, you're pulling your headphones. So.
But so just we're talking about some just recent news that we thought we fill the time with. But I think we should get into, and the reason I think we should get into music right now.
Have you heard?
Because the movie we're going to talk about later has a really good soundtrack.
I used to bump it when I was little.
Yeah. So in that respect, I think and plus a lot of artists that I'm personally a fan of have come out with some new music. And so I sent it to these boys to see if they want to check it out and talk about it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Before So first right out the back, 15 years in the making. It's been 15 years since System of a Down has released any new music.
Wow, 15 years.
And so we finally got new music. It's not an album.
15 years?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It's not an album. It's two songs.
Is that the last time? I mean, I've seen the System of a Down live. Last time I saw him They were on tour with Slipknot and Rammstein.
Nice.
So
I'm not really like Rammstein.
and that was their second album, Toxicity.
Rammstein's like it's an acquired taste, but I've seen some videos of their shows and it just looks intense. Like it just looks badass.
Okay, so pretty much like when we went to go see them, I mean, they're a German metal band.
German rock.
And you know, they're apparently, I think what the name of their of the band is, like they're kind of like pyro freaks, you know, like they and a lot of their shows has a lot of pyro tech going on in it. And when I saw them live, dude, they, like you just feel the bass, like especially from that one song that, you know, that's popular here in the States, Du Hast, like dun, 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 dun. It's like you just feel the poof, poof, like, oh, like fuck. And they put on a really good show. And one of the things that really stuck out to me that I always remember is that the keyboardist and the singer wore these masks, and the singers had like a flame in front of him, and keyboardist was just like this mask, and they were like going like if they were like attacking each other, well, the singer's mask would shoot out a flame, like oh shit, and then the keyboardist was throwing like a shoot of water, like if they were attacking each other. It was fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, I've seen the videos of the guitarists wearing those flame masks, and they're just there playing, and like a giant flame just shoots out. I'm like, yo, like, that's really cool. But yeah, so 15 years, finally System of a Down releases some new music, and the thing is with me, as far and this is my opinion, System of a Down has been one of those bands that like they kind of really caught traction a lot, especially when Toxicity came out. And I respect them as a band. I wouldn't call myself a diehard fan because I'm not. Like, I respect their music and I like some of their songs, but I'm just like not, like I have not listened to one of their albums from front to back.
I could say the same thing. I mean, excuse me. Definitely was a huge fan of their first album and the first two albums. Real big fan of theirs, but kind of like lost track after that. And when they came out with Mesmerize and Hypnotize, kind of was gotten back on it, but it was a totally different sound. You can definitely hear it was a different sound.
Real mainstream. But as mainstream as System of a Down can get,
Yeah.
They're still political and they're still, speak their opinions and...
still BYOB.
Yeah. So, like I said, in that respect, like I said, I like, I respect them, and so, going off that, I listen to the new songs, and I'm just like, sounds like System of a Down.
Well, in all honesty, one of the songs didn't really sound like System of a Down to me, and definitely the other song definitely did sound like System of a Down to me for sure.
What about you? How do you feel about System of a Down, and what do you feel about these new songs?
I always listen to their, hits majority of the time. Like Chop Suey, Toxicity, BRLB played. Was it Toxicity on like Guitar Hero or Guitar Hero 3 or something?
Yeah,
like
one
that.
of those, yeah.
And I always play it all the time. It was cool.
Yeah.
Never again like these guys. I mean, like Eddie. I think Steven said he mentioned it. He had listened to their albums like front and back, but I have never listened to one of their albums front and back. Just listen to whatever's on
the radio,
or their greatest hits or their most famous songs. So. But I still went open-minded with these two new songs, and I liked them. I was jamming out to them quite a bit. They do fit what's been going on lately in the political sphere, but we're not gonna get too into that.
For me, as far as their sound goes, like I said, one of the first song that I heard, protect the land, definitely didn't really sound to me like a System of a Down song. I mean, the message, right? Yes, definitely, but like the sound of it definitely was a little different from what to me a System of a Down song would usually sound like. And again, this is me going back to the first two albums. But definitely the second song I heard was Genocidal Humanoids. Dude, I love that song. It's a fucking badass song. To me, that was like, okay, this is classic System of a Down right here. And I mean, I always forget the guitarist's name. Again, like I'm not like a diehard fan of System of a Down. I used to listen just to their first 2 albums. I was a real big fan of those. But yeah, like again, I wouldn't consider myself a diehard System fan. But you know, I really love the singing and the screaming from Surge, and the unique tone that you get from the guitarist from his singing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he
has that.
Yeah. So I mean, one of my favorite songs from them was was it Lonely? God, what was it? I forget, but it comes out on the Disturbia soundtrack.
Oh,
Lonely Days.
Lonely
Days.
Lonely Days.
Yes, I love that song. And again, that's one of their like really commercial hit songs. You know.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it was pretty much. I mean, it was kind of like everywhere
Oh,
when that
okay.
song came out.
I always remember it from Disturbia.
But yeah, that's
good movie.
Shut up, buff.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So yeah, like I mean, I heard the songs and like I said, like I was like, okay. I mean, if I was a System of a Down fan, I think I'd probably enjoy it more. But you know, I mean, not to say that I'm not a fan, but it's just like if I'm a diehard fan, I'd probably enjoy it more. But you know, I respect them. I'm glad they're finally releasing their music because I know it's long awaited. So you know,
They're supposed to go on tour.
Yeah, they were. And then all this, all this year happened. So
Well, I think like a year or 2 ago, they did like a reunion tour in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
which one of our friends went to go see them when they were living in Colorado, which is
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
I think System of a Down's one of those bands that like just like Slipknot, Metallica, like it's a not once in a lifetime, but like it's like a and it sucks that I haven't seen either. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
like
so close
Oh,
to seeing
I've
Slipknot.
seen all 3.
I was so close to seeing Slipknot.
I want to see Slipknot so bad,
In,
so
uh,
bad.
in July,
and
April,
the
June.
last time that Metallica came here to San Antonio, I was not expecting to go to that concert. And one of my friends,
Okay, Steven.
his wife bought him tickets for Christmas, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have so much fun." She goes, "Oh, I'm not going. You can take whoever you want." And so he asked me, I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go." And I was like, "How much is the tickets?" "Oh, don't worry about it." Oh, even better. But I bought him some beer.
Some $15 beer at AT&T Center.
But dude, I had to buy like 4 beers. So, but dude, that concert was fucking badass.
That's kind of one of those. That's kind of one of those cons you have to like pre-game before. But even then, it sucks. Like, was there opening acts or anything, or was just Metallica?
Avenged Sevenfold.
Cool.
Cool, yeah.
But yeah, and so yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I totally forgot.
Well, okay, so like I said, System of a
Moving
Down-
on to
yeah.
to something else. Kind of staying in the same genre. I just wanted to bring them up real quick because they were like definitely. I know for me and you, we love this band, and we always like criticize like what's some of their best songs and like best albums. I know we have different opinions on a couple of their albums, but like Atreyu just came out with a new single after their lead singer Alex disbanded from the band, which was I think was according to their Instagram and stuff like that, it was a mutual agreement and split. So they did. For the fans, I think they released this new song, "Save Us," which I cannot stop listening to that song. I just think it's a really good, like, just a jam rock song. Just to like, I listen to it to get pumped up when I go to work.
and then also too, like it's a I'm like spacing all these words today. Like it's a credit to the band that they are able to move on without their lead singer, because obviously, I mean, they had 2 singers. They had their screamer, which is Alex, and then Brandon on drums, who also do the clean vocals. So I know he's now stepping into quote unquote the lead, the lead vocalist, stepping off drums, and now they have another guy, some random dude, and like but he, like I said, like it's kind of one of those things too, like when Joey Jordison was replaced by the new guy, Slipknot, he's able to hold his own.
Jay Weinberg.
Jay Weinberg. He's able to hold his own. So
Which even a lot of like new fans enjoy just as much as the old fans enjoy Joey.
So in that
a
sense,
little
like
bit, back history or back scenes. A lot of band didn't like both the new bassist or drummer. Like they wanted them out.
yeah, they
from
weren't
the
they weren't
get-go.
permanent members. but now they are.
But
Regardless,
I mean, even a lot of the band members, other than obviously Chris Finn, who's not with the band anymore, but God, I can't remember the one the clown's name.
Sean Kren or
Yeah, but anyways, they were the two original members before.
I thought it was Paul Gray and Joey Jordison and the Clown.
Was it them? I thought Chris Finn was one of the original ones too, but I know like Corey wasn't.
Yeah, Corey wasn't. He was Stone Sour first.
He was his original band was Stone Sour,
Which is funny because when I was younger, I always thought Stone Sour was like his side thing after Slipknot.
Like, no, he just brought out Stone Sour because he had
the platform.
And the connections to get the band into the studio. So
So going back to the Atreyu thing, like and so now they're bassists who before would act as like a backup screamer for Alex.
Which I'm sorry to disrupt you again, but when I saw Atreyu one time when they were doing their tour, I think it was either for the Curse or Death Grip on Yesterday. They were on tour with Norma Jean, and for like the first two songs, the bassist would come out and do the opening vocals for the band, and that's when people were like,
damn.
"Holy shit!" And even his own band members, Atreyu, were like, "Oh damn, he can scream!"
And
like,
ever since that, they started incorporating he has a mean scream, like,
which I think the first song that they really incorporated him was Her Portrait in Black.
Yeah,
because you could really tell in that one. It's like, oh,
he has like that background, like, rah, like oh, he's so good. But I'm glad to see that he's because when I heard the song, I'm like, oh, they're still having rough vocals, like, and I'm like, oh, who's doing this? Somebody else? I'm like, oh, no, it's probably what's his name? Knight. Oh no, Mark. Yeah,
Mark McKnight.
Yeah. So it's like I'm like, oh,
Mark with the C.
That's pretty badass, So yeah, I heard the song. I like it. I gotta listen to it more. But I'm eager to see where they take this. Their next album. In the future,
especially when they go into the full album.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. So moving on. I want to touch on an album that released recently that I'm personally a big fan of. And it's funny because I wasn't aware of any of his music until a year ago when we met Josh, aka Slim's Inc. Hit him up for your tattoo needs, and we did our episode with him, and we were just vibing over music, and he goes, "Have you ever heard Ghostemane?" I'm like, "No," and he played it, and it was like this hip hop, like hardcore type of thing. I'm like, "What? This sounds like this exists," and it just kind of like for me, kind of just went from there. Like I really come acquainted with a lot of Ghostemane's catalog, and I really like a lot of his songs, and early Ghostemane is a lot of hip hop, straight a lot of hip hop, but he's always kind of kept that black metal type of persona of like just being like a dark so recently he's been kind of before the recent album he just put out, he had some some EPs, and they were little they were good, but they were branching off from what he usually does, and a lot of his old music he samples a lot of music he sampled like Pantera, Nirvana, La Dispute, like a lot of different Korn, and he even he had their music in the background of his music, and he would just kind of rap over it, which I've always kind of enjoyed that. This new album that he released, he goes, no samples, no features, no nothing. It's all me. This is my music. This is what I want to do, and this and that. So I'm like, all right, So I remember hearing, like one of the previews to one of the songs. I'm like, oh, this is kind of sounding kind of heavy, but he's still keeping that he's still rapping really fast what he does, and. So, this album came out. Anti-Icon came out, I think October 10th, and I listened to the whole album, and I'm like just a huge fan of it. Like I could hear the inspirations he gets, whether it be like I could hear like some Marilyn Manson, some Nine Inch Nails type of stuff in there, kind of like those kind of sounds, but. It's a lot different from a lot of his old stuff. He still has some songs in there like Fed Up and Hell Rap that are like straight hip hop, and he's going off pretty good. And but a lot of his songs like they whether it be in the middle or at the end, he kind of breaks down into like a like a heavy riff or a breakdown. he's screaming. You know, he's like. There's even one song that reminds me a lot of like Slipknot, the way they like, they always kind of like.
So are you just doing the whole?
Well, I want to get my point across because like I know you want to say, but I want to get my point across before you talk shit.
I'm not gonna talk. Well, yeah, I'm gonna talk shit, but but a lot of stuff that that I want to say, you're actually saying it
okay,
for
fine.
me already.
Go.
Okay, I'm not really too much into Ghostemane as much as you and Josh are. I can get into some of his stuff. I like it. I like the way he raps. He raps, fairly, fast, and it's got a uniqueness of rapping. Like, it's like,
that sounded like what's that movie? Fucking can't think about it.
But anyways, definitely what you said was, the hammer.
It reminded me of Get Him to the Greek, where he's all like on top of the car. Okay, continue.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So, but yes, so like you could definitely hear a lot of the influence that he got. I guess he was a fan of these bands back in the day. Like Korn. I can definitely hear some Korn. Inspiration in there. Definitely some Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails. I was even getting some hints of Prodigy in there. So, you could definitely tell, where his influence and where his style was coming from. The first 2 songs I really did like, Vagabond, is it? And what's the other one?
The first, second and third track, right?
Scrimmage,
yeah. Or Scrimmage or something like that.
Scrimmage, yeah, it's something like that. Those 2 songs are definitely really good.
Especially the end where they get into the hardcore.
I really did like those. Those were definitely like Ghostemane, and when him rapping, Fed Up and Hell Rap were some other good ones I really liked. Towards the end of the album, it
starts petering off.
It's a really short album because I listened to it again on my way over here in within 30 minutes.
That's the thing. Like his songs are real short, and especially like I said, like Hell Rap and Fed Up, like they're real short. And I wish they were longer, but they're real short. That's the thing about a lot of his music. It's real kind of like get to the point, and it's short, and that's what it is. But I do agree that the end of the album kind of like. It kind of loses where it's going. Like for me, like, and then the last song, which is falling down, I think it's such a standout song. Like I at first when I first heard it, I'm like, it's slow and there's not really no heaviness. There's not really no hip hop. It's just him, a dark kind of song. And I more and more listen to it now. I love that song. Like it's so dark and it's so like I don't know, like just this.
But yeah, towards the end of the album, I kind of got bored and was kind of like getting lost in the drownness of whatever he was going for in those few tracks. But definitely heard a lot of that. Like I said, inspiration of 9 Inch Nails, Korn, Marilyn Manson for sure. I mean, he even freaking looked like Marilyn Manson in his on his picture. If you ever look at him up on Spotify, his post, his main picture. So yeah, Marilyn Manson, Korn, Prodigy, 9 Inch Nails. It's definitely what I was getting at because at some points I was like, oh yeah, I'm listening to Ghostemane. It's like, I mean, because even like when he starts like kind of like singing, he's like, yeah. It reminded me of Marilyn Manson, Mm-hmm. There was even a song too that reminded me of the Dope Show.
Oh yeah,
stars.
Yeah. I think that's I know you're talking about that. Yeah,
but I know Matt, this is not your cup of tea, but like from what you were trying to listen to, it was
whatever I tried to listen to was what he showed me. That's it. I don't know. It's not too into it. I don't know. I can't get into that type of like hip hop genre. That alternative hip hop or whatever they want to call it. I'm more into like the classic like hip hop like from the 80s or like Kendrick Lamar does stuff like that. So
Kendrick Lamar's not from the 80s.
I said what Kendrick Lamar does now, but
nah.
I don't know. Just can't get into it.
See, it wasn't really me talking shit about it. It's just.
Well, it sounded like you were.
I'm just saying.
It sounded like you were. It sounded like you were.
Definitely had, like, oh, okay, this definitely sounds like some stuff.
It sounds like something.
I like it. I like it.
I know you like it. Stop
I like
screaming in my ear that you like it.
I got brazy.
Oh, shit,
So-
we're already at 24.
Yeah. Do you really want to talk about one more album? So we're going to
Yes.
take a quick break real quick and then snap right back into it. Probably get a couple of refills as well. So we'll be right back.
Go. Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Geekin Drinkin, episode 47. And yeah, so we're back at it. We're gonna get right back into our last album to review, and then we're gonna get into the main thing we're gonna talk about today. But first, we got some new beers. I'll let Matthew introduce his in a little while, because his is the local beer. But so since Matthew had one of those left, I thought I'd get something special for me and Steven. This is from a brewery in
this is definitely special.
in Fort Collins,
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. I also have one in Asheville, North Carolina. From New Belgium Brewing, it's Voodoo Ranger. If you're a fan of IPAs, you probably are really familiar with Voodoo Ranger, and they're primarily available at like your local, your major retailers, as far as like Walmart, as far as like Walmart, Valeros, this and that. So I really like their IPAs, and I recently tried what I got right now is their Juicy Hazy IPA from Voodoo Ranger,
And I have their Imperial IPA.
and these are mine's coming in at 7.5.
Mine's coming in at 9.
Solid 9. That's what I was asking. You want that one? You sure you want that one?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Nice. So we got those. Obviously, I said, if you like good beer, Voodoo Ranger, you cannot go wrong with Voodoo Ranger, especially if you like IPAs. So check them out. Now, Matthew, what do you got over there?
I have
You bastard.
special. The Black Lab. Oh, I have something special. It is a beer called Monster's Blood from Black Laboratory Brewing here in San Antonio. It is a sour blonde ale made with green chamoy,
Sour belts.
green apple, sour belts, and Lucas.
Yes.
Interesting flavors we have going on in here.
If you're from San Antonio, then that's just like royalty right there. San Antonio loves their
Sour candies
their chamoy, their
and-
sour candies. And Black Laboratory actually had a beer, Boodle San Antonio, which is their, like, again, if you're from San Antonio, you know what a Piccadilly is. It was a Piccadilly inspired beer, and that one was brewed with chamoy, red Kool-Aid, and I think also red sour belts too. So, and pickle juice. So that one was an acquired taste. It was sweet but also sour. So Matthew's is a straight sour, and when he pours it, you're gonna see something special because it has an amazing color to it. If you're not if you know what Monster Blood is, if you're a fan of Goosebumps, then you already know.
I thought... Never mind.
It's Goosebumps, my boy. And his Monster Blood's coming in at 5.2 alcohol, so I'll let Matthew pour his beer and show you the magic. But yeah, dude, these 2 of them for $5 at Valero. So, oh boy.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Ooh, we're gonna get drunk and watch the Queen's Gambit. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know about that, man. We're going to listen to some Ghostemane.
So yeah, we're
All right. Here's
All
the
right,
big reveal.
here's the magic right here.
Let's
Right
go.
here. Oh.
No, I'm gonna say this is my first time seeing the green. Like, no, we've had St. Patty's Day beers, but like I said,
Yeah, but they use
Dye.
dye. This is actually, dude. This would be a really good St. Patty's beer.
yeah, that looks nice in that glass though.
I mean, basically,
I can smell it from here. Oh no.
Basically, what everyone else is doing when they do St. Patty's beers, they're just pouring color dye into like a Miller Lite or a Budweiser. This has actually got a unique flavor, and it's already green.
Very unique flavor.
They're not throwing in any color dye or anything
Look at
into it.
that.
That's the way it comes out brewed.
Look at that hazy boy. Look at that stuff floating around in there. Nice.
Not so much. So coming back, we talked a few songs
System of the Down.
from System of a Down and Atreyu, and then we talked Ghostemane's new album, Anti-Icon.
Amazing. Check it out.
So we wanted to talk about one more album that I really enjoyed. I really liked.
Huh?
Cry myself to sleep.
So I'll probably know the answer to this question. Have y'all heard about this band before?
Ooh.
No.
No.
I think I may have, but
You never really listens to them. I found out about this band when I started getting into my shoegaze phase. Like when I started like listening to a lot of bands that I take inspired from the shoegaze, like Joy Division and My Bloody Valentine.
That's weird because I love Joy Division.
Yeah, like like I said, when I say take inspiration like that shoegazy, like that, that distorted guitar with like that echoey sound.
I didn't want to drink this. So I admire it.
And look at it, it looks awesome. You should take a picture. But yeah, so I found this band back in like 2015, 2014 with their one of their albums called Downward Years to Come, and they've released several albums since then, and I've kind of followed them. Well, this year they released their I want to say their fifth or fourth album, and it's the Great Dismal.
Decimal.
The Great Dismal, not Decimal, Dismal.
Decimal.
And it's by the band called Nothing. That's
Nothing.
Nothing. That's the name of the band. Is Nothing. And so this album, like I said, came out this year, and like I said, I've kind of followed them, and I was like, oh, they have a new album out. Let me take a listen to it, and I plugged in my headphones, and I think this album is best enjoyed on headphones. I mean, listen to it in the car, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't have to agree with you on that. I was trying to listen to it in my car, and I was trying to listen to it on my speaker, like while I'm getting ready in the morning. But it's definitely one of those, like, listening to your headphones and you get the full, the full experience, get lost in the music.
I was just like,
and the lyrics.
I was just like, they're listening, and like I even like laid down. And I was like falling asleep. I'm like, this is so fucking good. And, like, I immediately ever since then I've just been listening to it over and over and over. That's when I told you guys, like, I want to talk about some music on this episode because Jesus Christ, this album is just. I actually enjoy this album more than I do the Ghostmane album. So, with that being said,
definitely you're gonna agree with you on that one.
God, what'd you guys think? Let me start off with Matthew. What did you think about the album?
Hold up.
Oh
God.
Depressing. I'm kidding. It was a little sadder than what I usually listen to.
We were all sad boys.
But like I said, the first time I listened to it, not gonna lie, I did listen to it while I was going to bed. It did help me fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. In a good way.
But sometimes when I dream, I listen to what's playing in the background.
Your dog's fucking.
Yeah. So when I was dreaming, like I heard like the songs in the background, and it was a very elaborate dream. I can't go into details. I don't remember. I just remember the song playing, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then I woke up, and then I woke up again, because I woke up in my dream, and I woke up from that dream that I woke up from. But I like it.
Nice dream, bro.
There's a lot of the songs that I like. It's like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Which one was the other one? Like the Blueberry Memory.
Oh yeah. The Blueberry in Blueberry Memories.
I like to Say Less. Kind of sounds like.
Oh my God, you'd Say Less.
Kind of sounds like Rob Zombie at the beginning.
Oh, with the little
with the guitar. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Say Less is probably one of my standouts from the album. The first song that I listened to, because it actually came on my playlist of like just like my release radar from Spotify, was Famine Asylum. That one's a good one. I've been more accustomed to listening to April Haha, and then just recently Blue Mecca. Blue Mecca, it just takes you for a ride.
Definitely love April Haha, and Blue Mecha are two of my favorite songs. But my super favorite song from this album that I always start off with when I listen to the album now is Catch a Fade. I love that song.
Yeah.
Love that song. It's such a good song.
What do you think about the opener for this song, A Fabricated Life? I know
It was good.
I know it's kind of slow.
It's real slow, but I mean, I liked it. And then the way it jumps into the second track, it fit. It was good. I liked it. Say Less is a really good album. Again, when I don't know about Rob Zombie, but it definitely reminded me of something. The beginning, especially with the bass, the tone of it. And then I guess the only thing for me that would remind me of Rob Zombie is the girl talking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the whole album's really good. Ask a Russ, that last song? Oh, I love that song too.
I just love the sound because it has that shoegazy, but also like the lead singer comes from a hardcore band. And a little fun fact, I wouldn't call it fun, but it's a fact. That lead singer actually served time in jail for attempted manslaughter when he was in a hardcore band. He was real into that scene, but also like real violent and get into fights.
What band was he in?
I forgot the name of it. I'll look at it now, but he was getting into fights and he got into a fight. He ended up stabbing another guy, and so he served some time in the band was called Horror Show. Yeah, I want to check him out, but so he served some time in jail. So I guess after coming out, he's like he wanted to kind of distance himself from the hardcore scene that he kind of was in, and he kind of still want to make music. So it's a mixture of like shoegaze with hardcore, and the music speaks for itself as far as like the sound's real distorted, like distorted, real heavy, like just heavy sound. And when I say heavy, I don't mean like rock heavy, but just like volume heavy. And his vocals, I will say this, and it's not a slight of the music. I actually like it, but his vocals, especially the volume, it's like the instrumentals are louder than when he sings, and you just hear him kind of like hauntingly like singing in the back, not in the background, but singing. But the music is kind of like not overshadowing, but it's heavier, So
yeah.
I think that kind of, for me, mixes in really fucking good. Like Matthew said, I think it's an excellent album to fall asleep to.
I really liked it too because it
honestly, I skipped the first song. All right,
I really liked it.
Interlude's cool, but let me just
because another one of those albums and
let's get to the music
songs, bands I can listen to where I had to listen to in the headphones, and either while I'm gonna go to sleep or I just want to listen to in the headphones is Movements, their album Feel Something. It definitely kind of reminded me of that. Obviously the sounds are totally different, but definitely reminded me of that. Another reason too why I really wanted to talk about this album and about the band Nothing is because they were one of the posts that we post on our stories, as far as that they came out with a new album for y'all to go check them out, give them a listen to. They actually liked our story, so I was real appreciated that. So thank you guys. We appreciate what you guys do. Hope you appreciate what we do as well. So
we know you're listening. Got a full boy right here. Got a full boy.
But definitely a really good album. I enjoyed it very much. Again, my favorite song from it is Catch a Fade. That's definitely my favorite song from there.
Mine would be Say Less. I had to say Less.
And I have to say Blue Mecha is my second favorite.
Blue Mecha, like, it just, I don't know, like, it, and at one point, like, it just, like, because it's real kind of, like, not soft, but it's just, like, a guitar and, like, a soft drum. But then, like, later on when the song kicks in with the bass and all that heaviness just kicks in, it's just, like, boom, like, ooh, love it. I love it. But yeah, so two albums. Like I said, one of them that we're all a fan of. And one of them that it's an acquired taste. I would say that.
Very acquired
taste. So I like it. I even got his lyrics tattooed on my leg. So shout out to Josh Slim's Inc. Show him the tat.
Oh, yeah.
Got the Harry Potter tattoo. So
what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into another subject, but what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna do a snap in, snap out kind of thing, just so that we just jump into it because we're definitely gonna get into some. I feel like we're definitely gonna get into a conversation with this next topic, the movie that we're gonna talk about, and instead of having to
I got notes.
Instead of having to do stop halfway and then start up again, we're just gonna go ahead and do that right now. So
Let's go.
it's gonna be a quick break, and we're still gonna keep the same beer. So we're gonna do this. Hold on.
Wake me up inside. We are back.
Whoa.
Sorry, that song's been in my fucking head all day. Because that kicks us into the movie we're going to talk about. And if you don't know what movie that song is from...
Well, I mean, that song comes out in a lot of movies, so...
Does it?
I believe so.
Every time I hear that song, it reminds me of the movie we're talking about. Yeah, Daredevil from 2003.
Well, yeah.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Because we're cool, that's why.
This is, like I said, from 2003. I was 13. I don't know how do you remember you were? You were like 7?
I was
probably
6.
I was bumping the album.
Depending on when the movie came out, I was getting ready to turn 18 or already 18. And graduated from high school.
And so this was in 2003. This was kind of like the...
I was born in 95, so by 2000 I was 5.
So this was...
Great.
I'm trying to... Dogs are distracting me. So, like I said, 2003. And this kind of comes off the start of superhero movies, as far as like X-Men was X-Men. The first X-Men was in 2009, correct? Or 2000. In the early 2000s. So superhero movies were up and coming. They weren't as big as they are now. So like I said, you had Spider-Man. You had I'm trying to think of the fucking. Trying to see the dates, but anyway, you had Spider-Man, you had X-Men, of course you had the Tim Burton Batmans, and so this was coming up.
I think even at this point we even had Christopher Nolan Batman already.
2003.
Yeah, not The Dark Knight, but Batman Begins.
I thought that came out in 2005.
I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
That seems like a little too early. I don't know. I'm really curious now. You should look that up right now.
Right, meow. Oops.
Sorry, we're gonna stay quiet until Steve looks this up and get on there. Yeah, 2005. I told you was wrong, man. I win, Daddy. So yes, yeah. Jumping back to
anyway,
2003, early 2000s. Superhero, movies, and this movie comes out and starring Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, Colin Farrell, Michael Clark Duncan, Jon Favreau, So. I remember this movie came out, and I remember really, really liking it. I remember Matthew especially loving it, to the point where he even purchased the album, the soundtrack to the movie. Which like today, like I was looking for it on Spotify, I couldn't find it, but I found someone made a playlist of like a playlist of the songs and album. I was listening to it. I'm like, man, this album is so early 2000s, like. It's so like it's good. It's not like it's bad, but that type of rock music just doesn't exist anymore. Like, and you could totally tell. Like, not that it's dated, but it's like it's of its time. Which isn't a bad thing. It's good. Evanescence, Amy Lee, and I love it. Like I'm there for it. You also had Saliva on the album, Chevelle.
I loved Chevelle.
So you had some like prolific early 2000s rock music on that soundtrack. So, and like I said, so I really liked the movie when it first came out, and I was a fan of it. So I was eager to revisit it when you said you wanted to pick the movie for this episode. I'm like, okay, what's he gonna pick? And you're like, Daredevil. I'm like,
I didn't even tell you. I just put the picture on there.
Like, bitch. And especially because the first thought that comes to my mind when I talk about Daredevil is that we've gotten so spoiled with the Netflix Daredevil series, which I think is probably one of the best superhero TV, not that we have a lot, but superhero TV series that are out there. I think it's like peak. So
I say it's definitely first best. There's another one that I like, which is funny because Daredevil came out, and a year later, another one of my favorite superhero movies came out after that. Starring Thomas Jane.
Okay. Punisher.
Yeah. So, which is funny too because Punisher was also a big part of Daredevil season 2. And
so you're saying that the the Punisher movie came out after the Daredevil movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A year later.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
2004.
Wow. I know Matthew liked that one too.
It was a good one. I actually really enjoyed that one.
I like that one better than the other one. Was it
Warzone?
Warzone. Which that one is okay.
That one's a unique in its own way.
Yeah. It's bloody. It's
It's just one of those ultra violent.
It's like, and the guy's starting to to the face.
Yes. I just thought like he's hanging on the chandelier and just like, that's fucking badass. That's what I need.
So okay, and speaking of badass, okay, I want to jump a little bit for this movie because there were so many things with this movie that like I like, and I remember watching like, oh, this is why I liked it. This is what was cool about it. There was one scene, okay, and obviously not the big bad, but one of the villains in this movie is Bullseye, played by Colin Farrell, which I'll still say to this day, he is playing up that role like times 10. He's so weird, and even I
just even like him too. He goes bullseye.
Yeah, he's always touching his little bullseye thing on his head, like if it's like his whatever, like. But there's one part where he has like this belt thing, and it kind of has like, I guess, quote unquote, throwing like stars or something like that, and he throws them at Daredevil, and Daredevil like badass catches them all. And he's all like, oh, I got no more. So what does he do? He fucking stands up, he kicks the glass in, and he's just catching it. I'm like, holy shit.
But then he's just like,
he just throws it. He's like,
and then all of a sudden one hand's empty, so now he's like,
dude, I was like, that is badass. Like, I just love how he kicks it. He's like, and I'm like, yes, like that's fucking cool. But I was like, I was thinking, I was like, this is why I like this movie.
It's so unrealistic, but it's cool.
But what I really loved about Colin Farrell being Bullseye is that you could tell he just had fun with it. And
did you notice he kept doing the whole, like he kept like doing the whole snake thing? Like I was like, what are you doing? Like he kept doing this whole head thing. Like I was like, but yeah, like watching the movie, and Matthew said this off camera earlier. He goes, "Yeah, it's a corn fest. It really is." But it's also, like it was.
Don't even get me started on the fight between Elektra and Daredevil in the park.
Oh
it's
my
like
god!
He's just trying to get her name.
Oh yeah. When he first meets her,
takes off his jacket and
he's like, yeah. Not only that, but in the beginning, because one of the best things about the Netflix Daredevil series is that they really kind of like not really go into it so much, but I think on an emotional level they do, as far as like him as a child when he gets when he gets blind and his dad's a boxer and his dad dies. I feel like in the show it was much more emotional. This one was kind of not rushed.
I thought this one was emotional though too.
It was, but the thing that I hated was that he's blind and he gets bullied, and all of a sudden he does a backflip and kicks the kid. I'm like, how does this kid not do a backflip already? Like, get the fuck out of here! Like,
So yeah, that was the only thing that I totally forgot about this movie, that it didn't have stick.
Yes,
that's the way the show brought out that character, and that's how he got trained. One of the things that I really
not only him but Elektra too, no?
Yeah, but one of the things I really liked about the movie compared to the show,
the suit,
is not only the suit, but is that they actually give Daredevil like what he sees but sees, and like
with the sound,
like
and
he is definitely the man without fear as opposed to a guy doing parkour.
So. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like at one point in this one, like at the end of and the reason I say I jumped to the end because like he's at the end. Oh no! This is after he throws Bullseye out the church and lands in the car, and all the cops look up and you just see Daredevil like jump across, but he's like running in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I get you're blind, your senses are heightened, but how the hell are you jumping over fucking buildings across the street? Like, I was
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I liked about it, is because it gave him like that strength that, you know, as opposed to just some blind guy that can actually, that, you know, took his disability to a whole other level. Like,
as far as like, you know,
like one of the things I did like was like when he has Jennifer Garner on the roof and he's like, just hold on, like,
it's gonna rain. It's
gonna rain. And what I love, and he like explains to her why he likes.
The temperature just dropped and the humidity just rose or something like that. Like,
yeah, and she's like, what? How can you tell? It's clear out here.
He goes, here it comes.
And then like he goes, the reason why he's telling that is because when it rains, every raindrop has a sound or a vibration. So for a minute he can actually see, and then like it starts pouring on.
I just want to see you. No wonder they fell in love and got married. Okay, let's talk about how ridiculous it is that he sleeps in water in a coffin. You know, like, I'm just like,
hey, okay, that's another thing I like.
I'm just like,
because
I'm like, okay, you must have earaches out the fucking. How you?
But okay, that also explains a lot too, because again, his senses
are heightened,
are super heightened, so he really hears,
needs to muddle everything,
you know, a lot more than, you know, what he would have been able to see if he saw
I
his
get
sight.
that. So you're underwater, your hearing is real muddled.
Yeah. And, you know, the whole coffin, you know.
But how do you not drown? You know, like,
well, I'm sure it has it to like a certain level, and it's just like, you know, the pillow's right there, and then the water.
And then not only that, but how do you not wake up and you're all fucking pruny, like, oh shit. And then how often does he change that water? So many questions. There's so many logical questions I'm having. You know,
I'm kind of jealous of him, because I wish I had a coffin, you know, with water, and, you know, and I don't have to wake up, just pee.
Gross.
I gotta go. I know I'm already in water. It's fucking.
So, and yes, this movie does have the unfortunate row of unfortunate.
I bet you when that coffin opens, it fucking stinks like a motherfucker.
No, this movie has the unfortunate privilege of playing a key role in getting the atrocious Elektra movie.
I never saw it.
I
never saw it either.
You know, almost as bad as Catwoman. And like Matthew mentioned,
which sucks though, because, you know, we're not trying to shoot down on, like, you know, heroin movies, super heroin movies.
Oh, but back in the day, they sucked.
But, you know, they just didn't give them the opportunity like they would give the Melrose, I guess.
Yeah, like, you know, like Jennifer Garner was pretty cool in this movie. I mean, like I said earlier, the whole park fight scene was just ridiculous. But
when she was fighting, like, training.
I like
Evanescence.
that. I love that. Like I was like, yes, and then like she's just like,
and then the whole with the twirling of her scythes.
But you know, I one thing I also hate too is that how fast they killed her off. I'm just like, really.
I forgot how fastly paced the movie was.
Yeah, it was really. I noticed that
happened like.
I noticed that today because like I said, I mentioned, like, I was watching this movie one night and I was drinking. So I was taking some notes. I gotta read my notes. I was you know, taking notes. I was drinking and I kind of got tired, so I fell asleep. What I thought was halfway through. So today I was like, let me finish it before I start the show. And I was fast forwarding. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I'm already like more. I'm like only have an hour left in this movie and it's already almost done. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like they don't introduce Bullseye until like halfway through the movie.
Yep.
With that badass introduction, I have to say with the paperclip, he's all, God damn it, he gets a paperclip, he's all. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, how do you die off of that? But still, it's so cool.
Not even just that, but oh, dude, he was brutal, man. Like, even when he's on the plane and the old lady's just talking to him and he's getting all frustrated, he gets a peanut and and he's like, she's sleeping, and can I get you anything else? More peanuts.
Yeah.
But dude, I really do think Bullseye was like kind of like the best thing about the movie. Ben Affleck playing Daredevil was really good. One thing I knew when the movie came out was a lot of people had issues with the villain, who was going to be the villain, and the actor that they picked to play the villain.
Wait, Michael Clark Duncan?
Yeah.
I thought he was badass.
He was cool.
He was
really
so
good. But I
fucking
know
big.
at the time people had him because
he's black. Really? That's stupid. That's fucking dumb. I thought he was like. I was honestly like because that was my first. That was my first introduction to Kingpin. So in the comics, when I heard that he wasn't black, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like
me too. I was like, wait, what?
I'm like, this is a white guy.
It wasn't Michael Clark
big
Duncan
old
in
fat
the
white
comics?
guy.
And don't get me wrong, like
Michael Clark Duncan is a really good actor, and him too. I think other than Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, the two actors that really stood out were the villains themselves because you could just tell they just had a good time with it.
I love that he just takes off. He's just like, you know, the man without fear. He's just beating the shit out of him. And I was like, damn.
I did like what's his face?
Jon Favreau.
No, not Jon Favreau. Who played Kingpin in the Daredevil show?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he played a good part, but I mean, I always remember Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, like I said, like I always remember Michael Clark Duncan. That was my first introduction, but people came out. That's stupid. But anyway, I get it, whatever.
Let's get to some of your notes. What do you got on some of your notes there?
They're real nitpicky. I was drunk when I was doing
this.
Just
pick some of them out because while you're looking at that, one thing I really that really stood out to me that I kind of liked. Not too many people knew about Daredevil. The only way they knew Daredevil was if you watched the Spider-Man anime series at the time in the 90s because he came out in it.
That was a badass episode.
Or unless you were just a really, fanboy, then you knew Daredevil. Another thing is, I know some people did have.
Sorry, I'm reading my notes and it's just like, shut the fuck up.
I know some people did have issues too with Ben Affleck even being Daredevil.
Dude, Ben Affleck, and then also he had a similarity with Batman. His suit in this movie is pretty legit. There's one thing that I don't like about it, but his suit, especially the mask, is pretty badass. And he has that underface that's just like fits a mask of that kind of like I said with Batman, with Daredevil.
Hey, he's been a superhero. He's been a superhero from two different franchises that both have horns.
Yeah.
But okay, so real quick, one of the things that stood out in the movie is obviously he's a lawyer by day and he's a vigilante by night, and his main thing is justice. Justice will be served. This and that.
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to me is when he goes and gets he follows a not a drug dealer, but like someone who was beating up someone else, and he starts beating him up.
Oh, and the
little kid sees him, and he's like, "Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me!" And he's like,
"I'm not the bad guy, kid."
The bad guy, kid. And it's like, and then like throughout that whole scene, he's like, "I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy." It's like, I kind of like that because it questioned him. It made him question like
what he was doing.
What he was doing is like, am I the bad guy or am I? What I'm doing, is it actually justice?
Justice is blind. Okay, so yeah, these fucking notes. Like I said, real nitpicking. Also, just kind of like I said, I was drunk. So first one says the CGI at the beginning is very noticeable with that fucking rat. I don't even remember the beginning of the movie. Saw that fucking rat. His whole childhood sequence was okay. It was a bit rushed, but for a movie, it's understandable.
Yeah.
His heightened senses though are a little over exaggerated.
I like that, dude. I really love that.
The death of his father. His
Faja.
The death of his father feels very paint by numbers. Batman, Spider-Man, etc. Like, it's kind of like, it's one of those things again.
Died in the alley.
Yeah.
And with the rose. Okay. And with the rose.
With the rose. I hate it when Colin Farrell's all like, put the rose on his head.
He's on
it. Again, something I mentioned earlier. The fact that he sleeps in water like a vampire. The fact that he sleeps in water in a vampire tomb is hilarious, but also in a way badass.
It's fucking badass, dude.
See, these are my drunk notes, so this is how I really feel. They do a great job at showing you how he manages his life as a blind man. Remember in the beginning where he's folding his money and he puts in his wallet, he folds it a certain way, like he's a 5 and he folds it a long way. Like I'm like, that's cool. Like he has it all like in like little folders. I'm like, that's fucking
Like he
cool.
folds one in half and he folds one long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's badass. This one says, "For the love of God, can he not fix his hair before court?" He has that messy ass hair. I'm like, what are you doing? You're in court.
Man, it's young Ben Affleck.
Also, I hate how the DD printed on his suit is like a superhero name tag. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, that was another badass thing too. The reporter.
I hated that. He's all like,
And he's like,
watch this. Like,
no, not watch this. He's just like,
huh?
Like-
What's that?
he's like, what did the cop tell him? The detective tell him something, and he goes, oh, okay, and then it's like DD. I was like, dude, that's fucking badass. Because Punisher does something similar in the Punisher movie.
Yeah. That's a terrible skull.
Well, I mean, he
He
made his best guess.
I would admit the visuals in this in this movie are badass. Also, along with that, the
CGI.
cinematography, the lighting, and the sound design are really great. What I mean by that, like, it's super dark, and his suit is like real, like, you know, like dark, kind of maroon, and
But
it
you can
just looks
still tell.
badass.
But
You can still tell. It looks badass, and like the sound design has to be really good because he's deaf, so you have to like, doom, like, I love that. I'm like, that's fucking.
And
cool.
I really like it the beginning of the movie because obviously the beginning starts at the end. Every good movie starts from every beginning of a good movie starts at the end, and it takes you back to the beginning, and it starts at the end again.
And then and I also said
The other guys, nobody.
and I was like, John Favreau is amazing as Foggy Nelson. John Favreau is amazing at anything, I'll say.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Which is funny because John Favreau came out in this movie, and then was it like 5 years later? Sparked pretty much the MCU,
yep.
with Iron Man.
oh yeah. And now we come to the infamous basketball court dance / fight, which was brought on by Matt stalking Elektra, because he was. Colin Farrell's Bullseye intro was short but good.
I just like too at the end when he's in the cast and he still gets to fly and he's like, Bullseye.
The funeral scene when her dad dies, and they had the funeral scene, and they play "My Immortal" by Evanescence. I'm like, this song is amazing, but it's so out of place. This song is about heartbreak, about losing someone you love. Not like someone you love romantically, but like it's just a funeral scene. I thought it was so out of place. Also, my last note: Kevin Smith comes out in this movie.
Yeah.
He was the
mortuary.
Right? He was like, check this out, this badass. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Kevin Smith. That's fucking cool. I like this movie. I do. I like it. I know
it was enjoyable, and I think it's still enjoyable.
It really is. Like, I really like it.
Is it one of the best Marvel movies? Hell no.
No, but I mean,
it's
like,
enjoyable.
For when the time that it came out, like the time that it came out was when the superhero genre of movies was like starting off. So with that in mind, and the time it's 2003, CGI isn't what it is nowadays. I thought it was good for what it is. Yes, was it a little corny at times? Obviously. You know, so is X-Men and so is Spider-Man.
Oh, definitely the first X-Men movie. Definitely the first X-Men movie.
You know what part I hate X-Men is when they're on the Statue of Liberty and he, like, I think Sabretooth throws him and he claws like the crown. He's like spins all the way around and just like
that was when you okay. Yeah, that was a terrible part, but one of the worst lines in that movie.
What happens to a toad?
What happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
Just like
the same thing that happens to
The same
everything
thing
else.
happens
It's
to
like, what the
everything
fuck?
else. I was like,
I was expecting something like badass. Like, okay,
So
that
I
sucks.
just got like a bad cramp in my thigh right now.
But you know who
my
you know what
God.
I just realized too? The actor that played Darth Maul and Snake Eyes is the one that played Toad in X-Men. Ray Parker. That's Ray Parker.
Ew, he's ugly. You think Snake Eyes too?
Yeah, he plays Snake Eyes.
Really? Huh,
martial arts
I
expert.
did not know that.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to reprise the role again for the Solo movie.
He was in the makeup, but they used what's his name?
No, not Solo. Star Wars movie, Snake Eyes solo movie.
Oh, yes. You gotta elaborate on it.
So it's funny because in the Star Wars movie, it was Ray Parker in makeup.
Yeah, but they
used the voice of
what's his name?
The guy from Clone Wars.
The guy from the Force Awakens games.
Yeah. Who played
and he also voiced Darth Maul.
God, what's his
Wars.
name? Shit.
You used to know it. Too,
I know he came on the Schmodown a lot. Don't tell me.
But anyways, overall, Daredevil 2003.
I liked it. I liked it more than I thought it was. I mean, I always liked the movie, but I haven't seen it since. Since
you were 13.
Yeah, since I was 13. And I liked it. Like I said, I know it was a cheese fest, but it was a pretty fun walk.
To be honest with you, like after talking about Daredevil, I feel like we should do Punisher.
I'm done with
Warzone. No.
Yeah.
The Thomas Jane Punisher, because there's so many good things in that one too.
Steve Nash.
It's Sam Witwer.
Sam Witwer. Yeah, Sam Witwer. Yeah. Yes, that dude is a Star Wars guru. I swear to you.
All right, so we only got a little bit more time on the camera. So are we good or?
Oh yeah, I see the camera down. All right, yeah, we can wrap it up. So, like I said, Daredevil 2003. Check it out. It's really good. Check out the videos we had. We had Matthew's Monster. I mean, I don't know.
You can't check that out.
Yeah. It was limited time. Monster Blood. We have the Sherman Bock from 903 Brewers. We have
Altstadt
Lager from Fredericksburg. And we have the two Voodoo Rangers, Imperial, and the Juicy IPA. Obviously, the Voodoo Rangers in Belgium. Check it out. Check out the albums that we talked about, the music we talked about, really good, and give you take on it. If you love it, fine. If you hate it, cool, whatever. Get out of here. But we're glad to be back, and we're gonna continue be doing this more, and be on the lookout. We're gonna start getting this episode back up on audio, so we'll get that out to you guys. I know that people listen on audio, and I know you guys are looking for that, so we'll do that. But thank you for everybody who tunes in. Thank you for everybody listening.
Sorry about the dogs barking and humping, but
yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. But we are Geekin Drinkin. I'm Eddie.
Steven.
I'm Green Beer.
Cheers, you guys. Be safe, be kind, and be good to another one of them. Peace.